All right, guys, so I'm going to make a quick crypto video here. I made a video a couple days ago talking about how Bitcoin dominance was down. It's down even more since 2 days ago. We're at 57.3. I believe we're at 57.9 when I made my video 2 days ago. And we're seeing that in the price action. I just find this to be fascinating as somebody who's been in these markets for a long time. It's just not, it's something you only see in alt season. And alt season is only really a couple months every 4 years. When Bitcoin is just weak and the altcoins are basically stealing Bitcoin's thunder. That's what we're seeing right now. We've been seeing it for the last maybe 4 or 5 days. It's almost like playing a mind game on you. Like you wake up, like I wake up, I look at Bitcoin, I'll see Bitcoin at like 110 something. I'm like, oh my God, Cardano must be 70 cents. I bet Ethereum's back down to 3,800. Like this is how my mind is working because this is how it's been for the last 3 years. Yeah, I understand the cycles. I've been through many, three bull runs and alt seasons, but I'm just not used to it of 3 years of everything following Bitcoin. So, I wake up and I see Bitcoin, I see XRP over $3, which is like, wow, like over $3 when Bitcoin's at 110. Cardano pushing 88 cents again, which 90 is right around the corner. And a lot of these altcoins showing strength. You got like a Kronos up 14%, 35% in the last 24 hours. Most of these altcoins are up maybe 4 or 5%. Your bigger cap altcoins are up more, and that's kind of how alt season works. A lot of your bigger cap altcoins will pump first. To me, like I said in my previous video, this is very bullish. It doesn't mean we're not going to get a flash crash and altcoins are going to shit the bed for a week or two. I mean, look, this is crypto. Anything can happen. But you can't make the argument with Bitcoin dominance pushing down to 56% or whatever it was. And, Bitcoin coming off a top of 124 2 weeks ago, now back down to 111, and we were at 110 yesterday. And these altcoins are holding up extremely well. And that's basically a definition of alt season. If you look at Solana up 8% in the last 24 hours, we're at 207 for Solana. And as you guys know, Solana usually, like Ethereum, is a leading indicator for alt season. So I'm very bullish. I think this is fascinating. I know a lot of people are talking about, September. September is going to be bearish. It's always bearish. I don't know. I mean, I think September is going to be like any other month. Like, we'll probably have a week and a half of misery where everybody's talking about the end of the world, where everything dumps 20%. And then we'll have like 2 or 3 weeks of everything's up like 80 or 90%. Like, you just don't know. But like, the one thing I've learned about these markets is the sentiment changes on a dime. Everybody's happy one day, and I feel it too. I'll be all happy. Oh, everything's pumping. Oh man, can't wait to sell my bags in October and maybe like have some financial freedom. Then the next day everything's dumping and you're just like, this sucks. Now I got to wait longer, or is the bull market over? Well, do I need to go into like depression for the next year? And then you have all these people on Twitter coming out, even smart people saying, oh my God, there's a 30% chance the bull market's over now. I think you had Peter Brandt saying that. Oh my God, if we drop another $1,000 in Bitcoin, that means the bull market's over. Like, people have capitulated. And these are the same people that a week prior are talking about a $250,000 Bitcoin. It's basically human psychology. People are extremely emotional. It's really like almost kind of sick when you see how emotional people are. Like, the changing day by day, it really is the definition of bipolar. I don't know how these people get through the day. I don't know how they live. They must be in a constant state of misery and torment in their brain. It can't be a fun life. And I'm not saying I'm immune to it, but to the level they take it, it's almost painful to watch. It's painful to watch. Could the bull market be over in September? Yeah. Could Bitcoin go to zero? I've been talking about this for years, about quantum computers. I wouldn't be surprised if next month a quantum computer comes out, hacks Bitcoin, and everything goes to zero. That wouldn't even surprise me. So the trick to these markets is you can't be surprised. Anything can happen. It's like you have to be open-minded to it all and realize that it's not all puppy dogs and and roses. Okay, so let's see what else is going on. Like I said, Bitcoin dominance 57.3, down from a couple days ago. That's a clear cut sign of alt season. Here's an article. Bitcoin can still hit $160 by Christmas. With average Q4 comeback, Bitcoin price weakness has shown odds of flipping positive, yet less volatile in the coming months. Can Bitcoin hit 160 by Christmas? I think that's in the cards. I've been saying like 140, 150. I don't think we're getting much more than that. I wouldn't be waiting for 160. I still think 140, you might want to be mostly out. Could we get like a spike up to 160? Absolutely possible. You know, Christmas is what, 4 or 5 months away. There's time to do it, but I wouldn't. It's possible. It's possible. I wouldn't bet on it. But the people saying like $200,000, $250,000 Bitcoin, I don't think that's possible. I don't even think that's even close to being possible. So I would completely ignore those prices. Here's an interesting article. Cardano price mirrors 2020 breakout pattern. $3 rally on the horizon. Cardano shows striking similarities to its 2020 bull run setup, with Fibonacci levels suggesting a potential breakout ahead. ADA's Fibonacci setup points to breakout territory on a slower time frame. Crypto analyst Ali Chart recently dropped a chart that got Cardano holders buzzing. The comparison shows Cardano's current price action looking remarkably similar to its explosive 2020 run bull run that took the token beyond $3, with Fibonacci levels lining up almost perfectly. I agree with that, and I don't think it's just Cardano. I think it's basically just this setup we're seeing with altcoins. Bitcoin holding on, 111, 112, Bitcoin dominance down, and these altcoins like like Ethereum, for example, it's pushing back up to its all-time high of $5,000. It wants to get there. I think once Ethereum breaks that $5,000 mark and hangs out there, you're going to see these other altcoins, you know, XRP $4 and Cardano $1.50, $2 as we make that next level up. You know, Cardano's just itching to go back up to $1, but a few other things have to happen first with Ethereum and probably Solana as well. You know, I think Solana is going to take the lead for a little bit, as you can already see, and then that momentum is going to funnel into other altcoins like Cardano. That's kind of how it goes. But a $3 Cardano, you know, I don't think Cardano is going to get much more than that this bull market. I'll probably be mostly out at about $250. I don't know. I just have to see where things are on the whole timing level here. But a $3 Cardano, I mean, I'd say it's probably like an 80% shot we're getting a $3 Cardano. A $2 Cardano, I'd say it's like a 99% shot. I'm almost confident of that. I just don't have my confidence that Cardano is going to make it to $3 and hold $3. I don't know. I just think there's too many people waiting to sell at $3. But we'll see what happens. All right, see if anything else going on here. Blah, 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 blah. Charles Hoskinson reveals $23 million support for Cardano native tokens. Hoskinson explains that when money is put directly into Cardano native tokens, it gives developers and users more tools to build and expand and trust the network. According to him, with so many projects in the crypto market fighting for attention and adoption, substantial financial backing like this helps the network hold its ground. It's nice having a billionaire like Charles Hoskinson behind Cardano. Like I said, he's putting $23 in. I'm assuming that's to like help a lot of these smaller Cardano coins like Hosky and Snek and all these other ones. A lot of people like to shit on Charles Hoskinson, but you know, I like to say it's like it's the best house in the bad neighborhood. You know, I see like the people behind Solana, all a bunch of sleazeballs. I know a lot of people love Solana. I know Solana's pumps very hard, but they're just sleazy loser car salesman people. But then you see like Charles Hoskinson. At least the guy has some class. He has a little bit of class, and I like that. So yeah, his full support behind Cardano, and that's what we want to see as we go into this all season. Other than that, guys, Bitcoin holding out at 112. Really interesting times. You can't deny it. You can't deny with Bitcoin dominance down that we're in full-blown alt season. XRP back over $3. It really just kind of depends. If Bitcoin just hangs out around 112, 113, Ethereum's going to continue making its way up, and then the altcoins are going to follow. Maybe we'll get a flash crash tomorrow and Bitcoin will just drop down to like 108. That's what a lot of people are thinking. Like, oh, Bitcoin's going to go down to like 105, 108. And that's going to take these altcoins down 20%. That's possible too. Like, everything is on the table. But the sentiment we're seeing right now has changed. It's gone from Bitcoin to altcoins. And that's not going to change anytime soon. That's going to be here for the next couple months as we're in alt season. Now, eventually that's going to change. And then you're going to, when we hit the end of this bull market, you're going to see Bitcoin dominance go up. Like it's going to go up so high, you've never seen it go up so high. And that's when all the liquidity gets sucked out of the altcoins. And that's when your altcoins go into bear market territory and they drop 20, 30, 40, 50% in a day. I think that's going to happen probably by the end of the year. Maybe November, December, sometime around that time frame. I think that's when that's going to happen. But I think for the next 2 months, we're pretty safe. Even if we get a dump in Bitcoin, I still expect these altcoins to hold on better. They're still going to dump, obviously. Might go down 5 or 10%. But I still think right now with the sentiment change, these altcoins are going to hold on for the next couple months as we're in alt season. You also have to remember in alt season, it doesn't last very long. You know, Cardano could get a pump up to $1.50 this weekend, then maybe go up to $2 the following weekend, and that could be it. That could be the end of alt season. We dump, we go back into a bear market. So once these coins really start pumping, kind of like I said with XRP around $3.50, $4, I'm completely out of XRP. I don't care if XRP goes to $100, I'm completely out at $3, $4. You have to take that same mentality. You have to set a reasonable price in your head of when you want to sell. Say you're in Solana. I mean, if you've been in Solana since like $10, $12, $15, I mean, $250, $300 maybe, set that price in your head when we get it. Sell with Cardano for me. I'll be out mostly at $2, but obviously it's going to be a stop loss situation where I sell some at $2 and I set a stop loss. If it goes under 190, just liquidate everything. And maybe I'll get lucky and we'll basically continue shooting up. But everything happens very, very fast in alt season. You got basically a couple weeks to make your move. And you got to be smart about it because I've said it many, many times. 90% of everybody you know is going to hold right back into the bear market. You know, it's like you take that elevator ride. You can take it all the way up and all the way down. And that's what 90% of people do. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.